Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Today we're gonna go over how to draw the bullet from Mario Brothers video game. Super Mario Brothers video game. Excuse me, I just ate a bunch of salad. So anyways, let me go over what I'm gonna be using today. I'm gonna be using this Copic Marker. Copic Marker, it is my favorite type of marker. They are kind of pricey and they do kind of run out of ink, but you can refill it. It's a 100 black, they call it, 100 black. Usually they come in a big old set, warm or cold. And I have awful colored pencils, but I'm used to it now. They do the job, although I'd much like Prismacolor. Prismacolor is 10 times better. If anyone wants to get me it for my birthday, which is like 10 months from now, so remember that. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Anyways, this is called Rose Art. The brand is called Rose Art, these colored pencils, but they are they kind of go down kind of chalky, and I don't recommend them. But you know, so they're cheap, really cheap. I'm gonna use black, aqua green, and I'm sorry, not aqua green. I don't need green. Sorry about that. I don't need green today. Actually, I don't even need this. All I need is black, because we're drawing the bullet. The bullet has one color. I'm actually gonna bring in a blue though. This is the worst looking blue I've ever seen in my life. This blue looks like aqua blue, but this is the regular blue, and that's about it. And there's a regular pencil to kind of just trace in the undersketch. So let's get started anyway. This is going to be a really simple shape, right? He kind of has this lipstick shape to him. So I usually start with this kind of almost equal sign area. By the way, I'm going to be drawing very brash and very, not very careful because I'm doing the undersketch. And the other sketch, I am almost scribbling. It's almost hard not to scribble. I'm going to have kind of a rounded form over here. It's going to be kind of like you're drawing a crayon or something. He's a bullet, you know. It's got a bullet shape. I don't know what else to compare it to. Like I said, maybe a lipstick shape. And even that's a little bit too wide, I think. I'm going to cut it down over here. See, the reason why I do this undersketch is because this is where I make the majority of my proportional mistakes, so that I don't make them again while I'm doing the marker. You know, regardless of, until you have it committed to memory. Once you have the process of drawing something kind of committed to memory, it's weird. It's almost like it pops up in your head immediately and your hand's already used to drawing it, and you don't really need those structures. We learn stuff. We learn all these rules so that we can throw them away later on, You learn all the rules so that you can just let them go. Oops. But, they're also good to fall back on. It has this divot right here, almost like somebody cut something into the bullet, into that shape, take that simple shape and someone carved something into it. So you can kind of see the back space of it, and you can see the side wall, and it goes into that shape. And I'm not going to be seeing that end over here. I might even pull this back a little bit. I might even make that shorter. Yeah, I'm going to pull that back. See, so this is my new line. I'm looking at this line as my new line, ignoring that, because in this undersketch, the eye comes very close to the front of the bullet. And essentially it's like a circle just kind of cut and chopped off. Circle where the arm is going to come out. These guys would always kill me. Not always, but they would definitely hit me a lot when I was playing Mario. It'd come out of that cannon or something like that, and he's got a fist, which is pretty much bigger, almost bigger than the eye, really, or just as big as the eye. Kind of behind, though. More behind. Actually, I'm going to move this whole arm back. I'm drawing this lines darker so that when I actually do, draw over this, draw over this, that I don't mistake them. Alright, so that's my undersketch, very sketchy. I'm just using it for, I'm going to put this underneath the other piece of paper. The paper I'm using is computer paper. There's nothing special about the paper in any way. Alright, Now I'm going to start with my marker, and I'm going to start with a light version of the marker, the thin side. This marker has a thick side and a thin side. I'm going to use a thin side to start off with. I'm going to start pretty much with the outside of it. Do the same thing down here. There. Ooh, didn't carry that line over that well. Have to be careful with that. To carry this other line. See, there's so many straights in this design. That to do with a marker is, you know, pretty dang hard. I'm making these lines consciously a little bit thinner. Alright. I'm going to go with the eye. And I might put a little bit of a turn in that eye. I don't want it to look completely mechanical, but it should be, but I'll give a little bit of a turn. I'm going to go with the hand over here. I'm going to try to find the hand that I wanted. Draw the fist area. The ball around the fist there. And that's almost it. I want to put a thicker line on the outside like I've been doing to the other designs. So I'm going to go with my thicker side, and I'm going to try to follow here carefully. As carefully as I can. One of the secrets to this is to try to be bold. You know what I mean? If you mess up, you mess up, dude. You can start over. It's fine. You're not under pressure to perform under anybody, whatever. You can always start over. But I know it's a pain to start over. So just shit. See, I messed that up. Sorry for my language. I would say a tip would be definitely warm up your hand beforehand if you want to pull a lot of straight lines. Just warm up on a piece of paper, just scratch paper, do whatever you want. And then the other thing would be, I was going to say to not talk while you're doing it. Because I know I'm talking, it kind of interrupts my other thought pattern and I mess up. But the other thing would be to take risks, you know, just move your hand boldly. Be a little more bold with it, you know, don't be afraid to kind of go through with it. So, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my black. And there's a lot of shine off the bullet, you know what I mean? A lot of that's because it's kind of reflecting off other surfaces. It has that shiny surface. And you got to leave the eye open there. Actually, what I would do is I would go around the eye first and take care of that. Put the shadow that kind of encompasses around the eye there. And then you can carry basically a straight line almost all the way through it. Obviously, it's going to change a little bit down here. But I'll carry that line through. Carry that line through. A shine up here. Alright, Just carry that line. I usually put like a strip of a shine up there, you know, like which is basically a highlight, which is the highest, kind of where that light gathers at the top. And then the bottom is essentially going to be entirely black, keeping in mind to get that, you know, not color over that hand, you know what I mean? But another thing about this is I'm trying to go from dark to light. You know what I mean? When you have an object, just to kind of give you some... I know this is a cartoon-ish type of drawing, but I can tell you that when the light hits something, right? Let's say you have that... Let's say you have this shape on the side, whatever that may be. You have the light coming from above, usually because of sunlight. There's the light that hits the ground, and then because it hits the ground, light bounces off. It has this slight reflection. And so you're going to have this area that has... Hold on, let me see. Does this appear on camera? Yeah. You're going to have this area that appears where there's light hitting the top and there's a little bit less light hitting the bottom, but then you have this band of light. You have this band where there is no light at all, hardly, and you're going to get these bands of dark. You know what I mean? That's because of the ground reflecting, the ground picking up light, and then the harsh light from above. So that's why you have these bars. In case you ever wonder, they call them core shadows. Anyways, I'm gonna speed through this, and I'll talk a little bit after. Just in terms of the coloring, I'm just going to fill in this whole space right now. So we'll talk after the speed up. Okay, so I gave it one layer over. You know what I mean? One layer. Oh, let me sharpen this pencil, man. I give it. God, I hate these pencils. I give it one layer over, and after this is going to be a lot of darkening. Like, where am I going to darken it? Am I going to darken it? I usually darken it closest to the white. See, because that white is a shine, and I want to make it look more like a shine by darkening whatever is butting up right against it. That's one option. This is gray right here. I don't have a gray, so I'm just going to also fill it in. And actually, kind of same thing. His hand is kind of white. I might leave it white, to be honest. Although it is kind of has this grayish color everywhere else. Let me see. I'm going to give it another pass, and I'm going to speed it up. Anyways, I'm back here. What I'm going to do is I'm not just going to keep that bar of white. I'm going to try to make the center of attention here. So I'm going to put some slight shading over this. Slight, you know, nothing too crazy. Slight, you know. I don't want the highlights to really pop over here when I do that. I might even put some shadow within the eye here, because the eye itself is kind of a cylindrical thing, and I don't think it could have highlights. It might have a highlight on the light, you know. One last thing, I do this at the very end of the drawings, is these things are airborne. So I'm going to give them some ground shadow here. Just going down with the side of my pencil. And that's more of just a presentation thing. You have to keep presentation in mind, because that is important. Just to kind of like how you present certain things. Alright guys, thanks a lot. That was pretty simple. I just used the black and the black marker. Please subscribe to this channel. Please spread this around too. Put it on Reddit actually. Reddit would be an amazing one. I don't really know how that works. I'm not on it very much, but I heard it's a very good resource. So thanks a lot guys. I'll talk to you later.